Okay, let's dive into this. You've maybe jumped into using a tool like Airbyte, right? Drawn in by that promise of just effortless data integration.
Yeah, it's click and go dream.
Exactly. Copy, paste, click, done. Or so you think. But then, uh-oh, the sync fails, or the data looks kind of weird in the warehouse, and suddenly, that nice, friendly user interface, it isn't much help at 2 a.m. when things are properly broken.
Been there.
So what really keeps things running isn't just the tool itself, is it? It's more the understanding behind all those clicks.
That's absolutely it.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into what seem to be the absolutely core skills you actually need to, truly master data integration platforms like Airbyte. We're pulling insights from the sources you shared with us.
Yeah, and it's crucial. Your data pipelines, they're like the circulatory system for any company trying to be data-driven. They have to be reliable.
Right.
Now, Airbyte automates a huge amount of complexity, which is incredibly powerful. But as the material we looked at points out, relying only on that automation without the deeper skills, well, that's how something meant to be an asset quickly turns into your biggest headache.
Okay, so when we talk about core proficiency, what does that actually mean in practice? Because it definitely sounds like it's a lot more than just knowing where the sync button is.
Oh, it absolutely is. The key thing here is getting past the UI, you know, understanding how Airbyte actually works under the hood.
Under the hood, okay.
Yeah. Like, can you securely connect to all sorts of different data sources? If we're talking about understanding the difference between, say, connecting with basic database logins versus navigating, like, complex OAuth flows.
Ah, OAuth, right. That's for things like Google or Salesforce, where Airbyte needs access but shouldn't get your actual password.
Exactly. Or even knowing how to set up SSH keys for secure server access. That kind of versatility is just non-negotiable.
Makes sense. Not every source is just...
Well, selecting only the data you actually need, that's critical. Pulling everything just wastes time, it wastes resources, cloud credits, destination storage.
Yeah, definitely seen that happen.
And then there's what the sources call sync mode mastery. This is about intelligently choosing between different ways to sync, like an incremental
It
sync.
just grabs the new or changed stuff since the last run.
Precisely. Versus a full refresh, which pulls absolutely everything all over again, choosing the wrong one. That can totally blow up your sync time, cost you a fortune in processing, or, just as bad, leave your crucial data stale.
So it's this balancing act of efficiency and accuracy all wrapped up in that one choice.
You got it. And look, when things do go wrong,
Yeah.
and they will, inevitably in complex systems, the real skill is being able to read the logs and monitor the dashboard proactively, not just reacting when it breaks.
Proactively, okay.
Can you actually diagnose why async failed just from looking at the technical output? That makes the difference between fixing it pretty quickly and just being stuck.
That feels huge. Debugging is often half the battle, isn't it?
Totally. And finally, you really need to get your head around how Airbyte actually structures the data it lands in your destination, your data warehouse or your lake.
Right, where it all ends up.
Yeah. And you need the SQL skills to query that data and work with it effectively afterwards. The tool moves the data, sure, but you still need to interact with it intelligently once it's there. All these skills really taken together. That's what separates a basic user from someone who can actually build and maintain robust, reliable pipelines.
It really sounds like these fundamentals are the bedrock of a resilient data operation.
And if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture, these aren't just sort of nice to haves. The sources really underline how important they are across different roles.
Oh,
Well, for data leaders, right? When you're building a team, these are the foundational skills you need to be vetting for. Someone who truly understands sync modes and troubleshooting logs, they're going to build more reliable pipelines.
which directly impacts data quality.
Data quality, cloud costs, your team's sanity, you name it. You really can't afford to hire just based on like superficial familiarity with the tool's interface.
Good point. And for the data engineers themselves, how does really mastering these basics pay off for them?
Oh, it's the launching pad. It really
Yeah.
is. You can't effectively start optimizing sync costs or think about building custom connectors or managing complex self-hosted deployments of Airbyte without a solid grip on how it all works at this core level.
So it's not just entry-level stuff.
Not at all. These fundamentals are the base for all the advanced data integration work. Strong data teams, as the material makes pretty clear, are built on these foundational skills, period.
So I think the key takeaway seems loud and clear. While tools like Airbyte are fantastic for simplifying things dramatically, The ultimate success, the reliability, the efficiency of your data pipelines, it really comes down to the talent and that deep technical understanding of the people actually using them.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
And, that kind of leaves you, the listener, with this question to chew on. In a world where data sources and business needs and the integration tools themselves are constantly changing, constantly evolving, how do you make sure your grasp of the fundamentals, those core concepts of data movement, transformation, troubleshooting, stays just as sharp as your knowledge of the latest shiny tool interfaces?